What's good? It's your boy JayThat'sMe. Let's go ahead and get into AEW Dynamite from August the 27th, 2025. The show was mainly boring and bland as per usual. I did not watch the main event. I just didn't care about it, and I'm pretty sure Darby probably did some death-defying stunt. I don't know who won between him and Claudio, but I really don't care, if we're being honest. Dynamite is no different than SmackDown. It's just on Wednesdays instead of Fridays, so whatever, man. So let's go ahead and get into this show. We kicked the show off with FTR. They complain about losing on Sunday and yada, yada, yada. They make fun of the referee, Paul Turner, and everything. They want him to reverse the decision and all that jazz. So Edge shows up, Christian Cage shows up through the crowd. He attacks Cax and Dash. They brawl. And then Edge and Christian proceed to challenge FTR to a match at All Out on September 20th in Toronto. So that's cool there. I would assume that's going to be the main event of that show. And I'm pretty sure, hopefully, we get a really good moment out of that story that they're trying to tell between FTR and Christian Cage and Edge. So, yeah. Moving on. So, we get a video package from Darby Allin. He's talking about how he climbed up Mount Everest and how it got him to thinking about his revenge against the Death Riders. After everything they tried to take away from AEW at All Out, he promises to take everything away from Jon Moxley. Okay, that is fine there. I'm pretty sure that Darby will do another death-defying stunt at All Out, because that's when they're going to go head-to-head with main roster WWE, and they're going to be putting on WrestlePalooza on that same night. So, should be interesting. Moving on. First match of the night, which went on forever, probably a good 20 to 25 minutes. Jon Moxley struggles to defeat Daniel Garcia. So, Moxley wins via a roll-up, which is dumb. So, whatever, who cares? Post-match, Willie Yuta got on the mic. He said that Moxley is not going to waste his time with Darby. So, it is what it is. It doesn't matter. None of this shit matters. Just moving on. Basically, Willie Yuta, he starts talking trash about the crowd and everything else. Then Hook shows up, and then Hook takes out Willie Yuta and somebody else. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention with this stuff at all. I just was not. I didn't care. So, whatever. Who cares? This shit does not matter. It is pointless. It is totally pointless. Moving right along. So, we get a post-Forbidden Door interview by MJF, who addresses losing to Hangman Adam Page and dealing with Mark Briscoe. So, MJF talks about Tony Khan telling him how he can no longer cash in his rightful title shot whenever he so chooses, promising that when he signs that dotted line, it won't be for the AEW World Championship. It'll be for Hangman Page's soul. Okay, we're watching a little bit too much WWE, and that's a little bit too weird for me, in my opinion. I don't understand it. I really don't. But whatever. When will MJF get his rematch? I have no idea. They don't need to do it at All Out, but they might. I think that's what they probably should do, because they're going up against, Cena and Lesnar. and probably maybe Cody Drew for the undisputed WWE Championship. So you kind of want to do something kind of big there too. So, but we'll wait and see how things play out. Moving right along, this leads us into a tag team match. Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, they defeated Harley Cameron and Chris Statlander. Yay. No, my bad. Harley Cameron and Chris Statlander, they won. Okay, that's cool there. So, whatever. Are they going to announce the titles, the women's tag titles? They should bring those up because they've got enough teams and stuff, so that would be good. So the women that aren't doing anything on Collision, or they're lost in the Dynamite Shuffle, or even worse, they're stuck on Ring of Honor, probably like Deonna Purrazzo, maybe she can get on television. Same thing with Taya Valkyrie. But your guess is as good as mine, but they need to make that a thing sooner rather than later. This is what we were promised according to the dirt sheets. That's what we were promised, and we have yet to had anything in regards to that. But in all seriousness, though, they do need to bring the championship titles. They do need to have a set of tag team titles. They really do. For the women, that would give them something to do. Because Mercedes Moné is not losing her 9 belts, and Toni Storm is not losing the AEW Women's Championship, so you got to do something. You really do. You really do. Moving on. This leads us into Mercedes Moné. She has a celebration for now holding 9 belts. Calls herself 9 belts Moné. She dances around and everything else. Renee Paquette then mentions Alex Windsor about almost tapping her out. Mercedes doesn't want to talk about that. She didn't really actually tap out. She's tired of hearing about Alex Windsor. And then she said if she wants to come after her, she'll send her to a hospital bed. Send her to a hospital bed right next to her husband. And then she continues to dance some more. And she also talks about how she's going to be a 10-time champion, eclipsing Ultimo Dragon's record of holding 10 belts at once. So, there's that. Who really cares about this? Mercedes Moné has been a major flop in AEW, and it's not good. It's like she doesn't care. She's just there just to be there. I get it. She was wronged by WWE to an extent. Not fully wronged, but she was wronged to some extent. But it's just like she does not care. And even when her time with AEW comes to an end, whenever her contract is up, it's not like she's going to go back to WWE and be at the top of the women's division. As deep as the women's division is in WWE, it's not going to be that easy for her to just go right back in. It's not. And I think Mercedes has another probably 2 years left on her. My bad. I think Mercedes probably has another 2 years left on her contract, if I'm not mistaken. So, I don't know. And anyway, even if she does go back to WWE, I doubt that they're going to push her as a top female of the division. When you have women like Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair and Io Sky and Kairi Sane and Bayley's still there, Charlotte, Alexa, newcomers and Roxanne Perez. In due time, you'll have Kalani Jordan. You got Tiffany Stratton. The list goes on and on and on. You got so many. The talent on the main roster and in NXT is way past Mercedes. Mercedes is like yesterday's news. And I just don't understand. I feel like whenever her time is up with AEW, she probably will still be... she'll probably go back to WWE, but she won't be at the top of the division. She just won't. And if she is, she'll be like how Becky Lynch is used now. She'll just be in the mid-card. That's what she'll be. She'll just be in the mid-card, holding a mid-card championship and elevating that. That's all she'll be doing. But as far as her being women's world champion or the undisputed women's champion, not going to happen. Just not going to happen. But it is what it is. Moving on from that. So, Mark Briscoe, he shows us the newest little one of his family. So, he's about to address his attention towards MJF, but he turns his attention to somebody else, and that is to Kyle Fletcher. So Mark Briscoe, he challenges Kyle Fletcher to a match for the TNT Championship. And so he wants to do it right now here in Philly. And he wants to be sure if Kyle Fletcher's going to man up. Okay, whatever. But that's fine there. Moving on. This leads us into an all-star 8-man tag. Bandito, Brody King, and Jet Speed, Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey versus the Don Callis family, Hechicero, Josh Alexander, Okada, and Takeshita. And the Don Callis family, they win. Josh Alexander ends up winning via a roll-up. So that's how they win. So whatever. I don't care about this at all. This is a waste of time. The Don Callis family is awful. They are awful. I do like Takeshita, however. But everybody else, no. No. Hell no. Just a waste of time. A waste of time. Moving on. So Hangman Adam Page, he shows up. Gets a pretty good promo. He talks about he hopes that Ospreay's doing better and that he feels better. And if he's still champion by that time, whenever he comes back, it's going to be him versus Ospreay at a later date. So Hangman then turns his attention to MJF, who tried everything he could to take the title away from him at Forbidden Door, and he failed. He addresses the fact that MJF has had to give a 7-day notice, promising that he'll beat MJF down before the ink dries on the contract. So Don Callis shows up once again, and basically Don Callis just talks a bunch of stuff. Hangman Page says that he's willing to defend his title against any member of the Don Callis family. So then there's a massive brawl that ensues. Jet Speed does show up. Kenny Omega shows up. And then Kenny Omega and Hangman, they beat up Lance Archer. And then Jet Speed, they take out the rest of the members of the Don Callis family. I think Wardlow was there too. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention, but he might have been there. I don't fucking know. Nor do I care. I feel bad for Wardlow. I know he's another guy who can't wait for his contract to be up, and he can go actually make some money in the WWE, killing it in NXT, and more than likely killing it on the main roster. Moving on. So we get a promo from Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. So it's basically about how well her hand is by slapping the Timeless One in the face. Tony is thrilled that she's back, and it is what it is. So whatever. This leads us into the Ops. Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Powerhouse Hobbs. They defeat Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. Bishop Khan and Tulayona. So, whatever. I don't care about this either. And then the Hurt Syndicate, they show up and everything else. And they have a little brawl with the Gates of Agony. So they're going to do a feud with those two teams, which is fine, I guess. Main event of the evening, I didn't watch it at all. Darby Allin versus Claudio Castagnoli, Falls Count Anywhere match. Who wins? Darby. So that's fine there. He does not one but two coffin drops, and that was it. So whatever, it's fine, I guess. So then Gabe Kidd shows up. He beats up on Darby Allin. Moxley shows up. Darby has some fight in him, and he takes out Moxley. Then him and Moxley stare each other down, and then that was the show. So as per usual, Dynamite is boring. Nothing new there. The only thing I like on this show was the Edge and Christian stuff, which was fine. Everything else I just didn't care about. I didn't care about the matches. MJF wanting his rematch is fine too. They're building towards All Out, so they have 4 weeks to build, and that's it. Same thing with WrestlePalooza for WWE. So, it is what it is. But Dynamite continues to sink deeper and deeper into the abyss. And are they going to get out? Probably not. What did you guys think of Dynamite? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.